Hi, I'm Megan Yabsley. I'm a hairdresser and trichologist, and I've been with Lorenzo for the past 16 years. My role with Lorenzo is as education manager, and over that time I've done a lot of work with our Tricho range, which is our scalp treatment range. And so what I want to do today is go through with you is how our treatment range will help to manage and control various scalp disorders. First of all, I'm going to go through with you the entire range, how the range is laid out, and then also how the individual treatments look after the hair and the scalp, and some of the key ingredients that we use within the range. So the Tricho range is quite a comprehensive range, and we're able to treat lots and lots of different types of scalp disorders or conditions. Just to start with, I want to take you through how the range is laid out. So we have the Balance, Tricho Balance for dry scalp conditions. We have Tricho Control for oily scalp conditions. We then have the Sensitive range. Now this range is for people that tend to have allergies with fragrances and are just quite sensitive to various types of cosmetics. And then we have two treatment products that will help to support the rest of the ranges within the Tricho series. Now some of the scalp disorders that we can treat with the Tricho range, well, there are quite a few. And what we aim to do with the Tricho range is to help to maintain, treat and control the symptoms. We're not curing scalp disorders. Many of the scalp disorders that we come across actually can't be cured. So it's a matter of offering people alternative treatments that they can use to help to maintain their scalp disorder. So what we want to do is alleviate the flaking and scaling, itching and burning and soreness of the scalp. So some of the treatments or some of the scalp disorders that we're able to treat are things like dandruff. Many people suffer with dandruff. In fact, 1 in 4 people will have a scalp disorder at some time in their life. Dandruff is a common one, and it's often where you see a little bit of scale through the scalp and dusty on the shoulders. Some of the other things are oily dandruff. People don't realise that you can have an oily scalp with a scale as well. And often if they choose the wrong treatment, it can exacerbate the problem. So we have specific treatment for an oily dandruff. Then moving on from oily dandruff, there's a condition called seborrhea, which is where somebody has a very excessively oily scalp. Often teenagers that go into puberty will get a very oily scalp because the hormones affect the oil gland. So that's a condition called seborrhea, an excessively oily scalp. That can then move on to something like seborrheic dermatitis, where the excess of the oil irritates the skin, and scaling and flaking can actually stick and adhere to the skin. So we have treatments that are able to help control and maintain that. We then have the infant version of that is cradle cap. So cradle cap is where there's an excess of oil on the skin doesn't flake away, and then the infants get like a yellowy scale that's sort of stuck to the skin. So we've got really gentle treatments that are able to lift and remove that and help to stop it from coming back. Then things like psoriasis, many people suffer with psoriasis. 50% of people that actually do suffer with psoriasis will have some involvement of the scalp. So it's very common to have psoriasis on the scalp. And again, you get the dusty, scaly flakes falling onto the shoulders, and it can be embarrassing for people. So we can help to maintain and control the amount of scale that's shedding from the scalp. Then just disorders as simple as dermatitis and eczema, where people are sensitive to the environment, to pollution, to things like fragrance in products and just cosmetics in general. So we have a very gentle range that can help you to control those types of symptoms and alleviate the symptoms of eczema and dermatitis. So there is quite a full range of scalp disorders that are able to be treated, maintained and prevented with the Tricho range. Recently we made some changes to the formulation of the Tricho range. We are now sulfate and paraben free. So the alternative that we're using to the sulfates that we originally used, now sulfates are the cleansing component or the shampoo foaming agent that we use in the range. We now use sodium cocoyl isethionate. Now this is just a very gentle sulfate-free range which is able to still cleanse and foam up and wash and clean the hair, but it's very, very gentle on the skin. It's known for its low level of sensitivity, so it's able to be used on a variety of skin types, and very gentle on the hair, very gentle on the skin. We've also included in the range some new extracts such as the Zephyrus Zero. This extract comes from a tree, and it's known for its anti-irritant, anti-inflammatory properties, and it helps to soothe and alleviate the skin. It's also paraben-free now, and basically a lot of the ingredients that are already in the range have antifungal, antimicrobial properties, so it's actually able to self-preserve in a lot of ways. But we also use a sodium citrate, and that's able to stabilise the product within the ingredients within the formulation, and help to preserve the product. So it's now sulfate and paraben-free.